Welcome everyone to Unscripted Coding. Today I just want to go very quickly through OpenRouter. I've recently discovered this aggregation of different LLMs in a single API and single website, but it has been around for a little bit. Now, what I mean by that is that if you take a look at OpenRouter, you will find Anthropic, Grok, Mistral, you will find Google, Llama, and OpenAI, and many, many, many other models, of course. And what this means is that in a single interface, but also a single API, you are able to access all of these models. Now, the reason I was looking at OpenRouter in the first place is because at the time, Perplexity still hid their online models behind beta access. Now, of course, as I started doing this video, this is now made available to anyone on Perplexity, but previously it was not. Yet it was available on OpenRouter. So I could find Perplexity 405 billion parameter online model. And what was really cool about this Perplexity model is that it does go online to do some searches. Whatever Perplexity does, it does its Google or internet searches, it passes some of the results through their internal system, and then ultimately feeds it to the end user. This is, of course, different from many other, well, virtually all other models, which are offline. They may have knowledge cutoff dates of 2 or 3 months ago, but they don't have the capability to go on the internet and search things. And so one example I might have is, can you provide the latest Canadian news stories for me? And it should start, searching online, finding a bunch of articles, and then providing me some of the answers. And so these are, of course, very, very relevant and recent. This, I know, has been going on for the last 2, 3 weeks. The Saskatchewan provincial election is happening right now, so this is very up-to-date information. Now, if I ask this from chat-gpt, OpenAI, Gemini, whatever, it'll try and find something from 2 or 3 months, whenever its knowledge cutoff date is. Now, the other thing is I could start adding other models as well. So let's say Sonnet over here. We'll turn this off and say, and run this as well. Okay. Hello. And so I can start getting information from Claude. And of course, Claude smartly refuses to provide real-time news updates. Of course, this is all good on an interface, but what's really helpful is if I go in and say find Anthropic Claude, it is available through an API. So it will cost money, and I have noticed that for the applications I know of, say Anthropic, the pricing is not out of line from the online models going to Anthropic directly. So I don't see a markup. Maybe they're making it in bulk, or maybe they're making it in models that don't get a lot of use. But for example, Anthropic Claude 3.5 Sonnet, these are the right prices. There is no markup on top of it. But the really beautiful part is if you want to use an API here, you can just copy this code. Now this one is classic request post. So going through the internet, making a simple request, you put in an OpenRouter API key, you mention the model, and then you're good to go. But what I appreciate even more is that most of us hopefully are familiar with OpenAI at this point and their SDK that you can use in Python. Um, the format's all the same. So anything you wrote previously for OpenAI models, you can just move over to OpenRouter without problem here. And from there, you just you just start the client with OpenRouter as your base URL instead, and of course you pass your OpenRouter API key. And you can reuse all of that code that you've already done, and you just replace the model with, if I've fallen out of OpenAI, I can switch to Anthropic. I can even switch to Perplexity or Grok or Mistral or anything else. And so I think what's really fun here is it suddenly opens up so many models to me that I was too lazy to figure out. Now, most models are pretty smart in that they have mirrored their system around OpenAI, but frustratingly, Gemini is not one of those. So, I'm going to take a look at Gemini Pro 1.5 experimental. And if you look at their API here, you can still use the OpenAI code. Google, on the other hand, has made it so much harder. They have changed the output, changed how you input it. All of it is just messy and makes my life harder. If I switch to OpenRouter, so much easier. Standard, everything's good. Right now, I like Google Gemini. Tomorrow, I may not so much, and I could just switch a model afterwards. Okay, so this was meant to be a short video just to show off OpenRouter. None of this is particularly special, and you guys don't need to see me rewrite this code again. But do give it a shot. I don't know why I ignored it for so long. I kept thinking that it would be janky or buggy, but really my experience has been entirely the opposite. It's been really good, and everything makes a lot of sense. So do give it a shot. Try out different models, because I'm looking down this list and there are so many I have never ever heard of. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next week when we talk about another project. Bye.